With a real knowledge whale, please stand up. Thank you. Here are 50 amazing facts to blow your mind. We actually have the ability to eat an entire bag of chips without really noticing because chips have a vanishing caloric density. What that means is that it tricks our tongue and brain into thinking that we haven't actually eaten anything. That explains a lot. Famed artist Bob Ross painted a grayscale landscape in 1984 after meeting a colorblind man who believed that he would never be able to paint to show him that he can. The eye color of owls typically indicates what time of day the owls prefer to be active and hunt. Their eyes can be yellow, orange, dark brown, or even black. To burn off 200 calories, you could chew gum for 18 hours, apply lip balm 1,500 times, or sing a song 23 times. Or, just go to the gym. Planes used to be a lot more comfortable. In the 1940s, the Boeing 377 Stratocruiser had reclined club chairs throughout the cabin. On intercontinental flights, every seat could adjust into a bed so that each passenger could sleep. Somewhere we went terribly wrong. Raccoons are actually very smart. They can open complex locks in under 10 tries and can still repeat the process if the locks are rearranged or turned upside down. They'll also remember solutions to problems for up to 3 years. If you feel strongly that someone is watching you, that's because they probably are. Your brain has a primal gaze detection system that determines whether someone is staring directly at you or not. Clinical studies done at Stanford University show that people who have auditory hallucinations, such as schizophrenia, have voices that are shaped by cultural influences. In Africa and India, most describe them as voices of family members or spirits, but most Americans say that they hear violent, torturous, and hateful yelling from strangers. There are actually 3D printers that can print your dinner. The Foodini food printer makes everything from pizza to burgers to chocolate using fresh ingredients. 3D printed bacon. A free kitchen operated by volunteers in India at the Golden Temple in the western Indian city of Amritsar serves 100,000 hot meals a day and has been doing so for over 300 years. The average claw machine is only programmed to give the claw full strength every 20 tries. Scam! Basma Hamid, a Canadian woman originally from Iraq, learned how to tattoo so that she could cover her burn scars that she received on her face as a child. The results were remarkable, and she now has a business helping other burn victims by tattooing discolored scars to match their own skin tone. There exists an American company known as Creative Home Engineering that specializes in making hidden rooms for your home. There's even one that requires a chessboard played in a certain combination in order to unlock the room. Oh Lord, I want to contact these people. The United Kingdom and Portugal hold the longest standing alliance in the world, which started in 1386. Born in the 1930s, identical twins Oscar Stohr and Jack Youth were separated shortly after birth. Oscar was raised in Germany and attended Hitler Youth Academy, while Jack practiced Judaism in Trinidad. They finally met at the age of 21, and they didn't get along at first, but eventually became close brothers later in their 50s. When a cat brings back a dead animal, it's actually acting out its natural role as a mother and showing its owners how to catch and eat prey, just like they would teach their young in the wild. Meow. I don't know what that was. Your blood actually appears green underwater at about 9 meters or so because there is no red light underwater, therefore there's no red light that can bounce off of your blood into our eyes. In 2012, following the death of Meow, a cat who weighed 18 kilograms, the Guinness Book of World Records stopped recording the heaviest pets in the world to discourage deliberate overeating. You can differentiate between East and West Berlin from space because the different types of street lamps used to give off different shades of light. Germain Rodale, a longevity expert and father of organic farming, announced at the age of 71 during an interview that he's decided to live to be 100. He also declared, "I've never felt better in my life." And minutes later, while filming, he died of a heart attack. There is a boiling lake located in Dominica that is so hot, the center's temperature has never been determined. The grasshopper mouse is carnivorous, immune to venom, eats scorpions, and howls like a wolf to claim its territory. The blue marble is the only whole Earth photo taken by human hands from December 7th, 1972 by the whole crew of the Apollo 17 space shuttle. Nobody since has been able to be far enough from Earth to take a similar photo. The Spanish Paralympic basketball team was forced to return their gold medals that they won in the 2000 Australian Paralympics after almost all players were found to be not disabled. Some non-venomous snakes, like the tiger keelback, will actually protect their babies by eating poisonous frogs while being pregnant. They then pass the poison onto their eggs, which makes their newborns poisonous when they're born. On December 31st, 1946, a man named Alphonse Rocco claimed to be a detective and gave a pedestrian a camera and asked her to take a picture of a suspect. Well, the detective turned out to be a gangster, and the suspect turned out to be his ex-wife, and the camera turned out to be a concealed shotgun firing via the shutter button. Yeah, I'm never taking a photo for anybody ever again. In Bridport in the UK, there is a cat named the Artful Dodger who regularly catches the bus by himself to travel 10 miles to the neighboring town. He waits at the bus stop so often that the driver brings tins of cat food and knows what stop to let the cat off at. Dr. Seuss's first book was rejected 27 times. He was almost ready to give up, but bumped into a friend on the street in New York City back in 1937 who'd just begun working in publishing. Seuss said that if he'd been walking on the other side of the street, he probably would have never been a children's author. Skiffism was a form of ancient punishment where the victim was tied and force-fed a rich diet of honey and milk and then left in the sun. He accumulated diarrhea while his accumulated excretion attracted flies and insects who would then eventually eat the man inside out. Moving on. At the center of every single raindrop is a mineral dust particle. It is physically impossible for raindrops to form from pure water alone. There is a small village in Holland known as Dementia Village, inhabited by those people with dementia. It's designed to be a normal environment with a secured perimeter so that patients can safely roam to the grocery store, restaurants, cafes, and gardens without feeling, locked down or confused. A Stanford study concluded that there is a high correlation between walking and creative thought output. Compared to sitting, those who walked demonstrated a 60% increase in creative thought output. Snapchat founder Evan Spielgill's net worth was $1.5 billion at the age of only 24, making him the world's youngest billionaire. He's now 25 and worth $2.1 billion. Kowloon Walled City in China existed from 1810 to 1993. In its later years, it was controlled by triads with thousands of residents who were involved in drugs, gambling, and prostitution before the city was demolished. You know Flo from the Progressive Insurance commercials? Yeah, she makes $500,000 a year. A study conducted at Washington University found that rats not only enjoy being tickled, but high-frequency recordings showed that they actually make the same laughing sound during a good tickle session than when they play with other rats. Rajendra Singh, known as the Waterman of India, revived 5 rivers and brought water back to 1,000 villages in India using native water preservation techniques. The pyramids of Giza were more ancient to the ancient Romans than Rome is ancient to us. Göbekli Tepe, located in Turkey, is thought to be the world's oldest temple. Constructed 6,000 years before Stonehenge, it's estimated to have been built before the invention of the wheel, even the idea of farming, or the tools that could have constructed its own existence. Basically, it shouldn't have existed itself. At the time of this recording, Star Wars: The Force Awakens had the biggest opening weekend in movie history at a total of a whopping $247,966,675. When Apple began designating employee numbers, Steve Jobs was offended that Steve Wozniak received number 1 while he only got number 2. He believed that he should be second to no one, so He took number 0 instead. Most predators have eyes facing forward, while most prey have eyes on their sides of their head. Every single restaurant that has appeared on season 2 of Kitchen Nightmares has closed. Big surprise. In 2013, a man threatening to jump from the South Carolina Ravenel Bridge was convinced not to jump after being offered a pizza. Studies conducted at Indiana University Media School discovered that watching cat videos actually boosts viewers' energy and positive emotions and decreases negative feelings. Cats are just taking over this video. Bicultural people may change their personality when they switch languages. According to a study conducted by university professors across America, language unconsciously affects people's interpretation of events. Women speaking Spanish were seen as more independent and assertive than women speaking English in similar situations. Black panthers are not a real species. What they are jaguars and leopards who have melanism, which causes them to have black skin. It's actually the opposite effect of having albinism. Conservationists in South Africa are infusing a special red dye into the horns of live rhinos. The mixture renders the horn completely useless to poachers that are trying to sell it commercially, and also has a toxin for human consumption. A team of researchers at Michigan State University have created a transparent solar panel that can be used in buildings to potentially power the entire building. It can also be retrofitted to older glass buildings to harness power. President Andrew Jackson's pet parrot was kicked out of Jackson's funeral in 1945 for cursing. And now you're spawning from the knowledge whale. Before I let you guys go, I wanted to remind you that I have a vlog channel. That's right, a second channel. I upload almost daily videos about my life on that channel. Not only is it the place where I document the adventures that I go on, but it's also the place where I get to connect more directly with you guys by sharing my thoughts and feelings. So if you haven't checked out that channel yet, Matthew Santoro Vlogs, make sure you do in the description right now and subscribe. And as always, if you guys enjoyed this video, click that like button and subscribe to this channel so that you can catch my next video. Love your faces. Knowledge whale out.